Spring of Hope, giving wings to the most marginalized and disadvantaged children. Daughters of Mary Immaculate, DMI, an apostolic union of sisters, is dedicated and committed to serve the poor and the needy in the neglected parts of the world. It was founded by Reverend Father J.E. Arulraj in 1984 in India. The charism, the driving force is loving God and serving the poor to be fully human and fully alive. DMI Spring of Hope, a home of the homeless and hope of the hopeless. A program involved with trafficked children, street children, working children and HIV-infected children. It was a humble beginning with 25 victims of trafficking at Kibamba, Dar es Salaam, Tanzania. Now, serving more than 3,000 children with different needs and challenges.
The context: Tanzania has 51 million population. Of this, 44.6% consist of children. Approximately 6 million children aged 0 to 14 years live below the poverty line. There are more than 2 million orphaned or abandoned children, and 32% of the 5 to 17-year-old are engaged in child labor. HIV/AIDS prevalence rate is 5.1%, and HIV/AIDS continue to take its grim toll on the country's youthful and children population. Lack of livelihood option, subsistent agriculture practices, exploitative wage system for adults, government's anti-poor policies, growing urbanization, increasing sex trade and trafficking, lack of schools within the vicinity, poor quality of teaching, poor family bond, increasing broken families and inadequate care push children into vulnerable position in Tanzania.
The deplorable reality of children demanded DMI to serve the children. Thus, a home for homeless, DMI Spring of Hope, was started to protect and safeguard the rights of the children to lead a dignified life. Care home for street children. Children living on streets is one of the serious issues in Tanzania. To reduce the social burden, DMI runs a care home which provides safe atmosphere to the children who are deprived of family care and support. DMI sisters facilitate and provide children to experience blissful life with love, care and affection. All children in the home get educational support, medical care, spiritual enhancement and training on handicrafts. Since 2011, DMI has successfully extended their support to 245 children and helped them to live a hope-filled life.
Rehabilitation of the victims of trafficking. DMI believes that trafficking is the most condemned form of human exploitation and should be controlled fully. DMI involves in rehabilitating the victims and preventing trafficking by working closely with the local community.
Identification and rescue. A team of DMI sisters and volunteers keep working to identify trafficked children from all over Tanzania and rescue them from the greatest danger with the help of community stakeholders. Psychological support for the victims through counseling and medical assistance. The trained counselors and DMI sisters provide counseling and support to overcome their bitter experiences. The counseling program helps them to cope and face new challenges. Based on the needs, medical care is provided to all the rescued victims.
Life skills training. The victims of trafficking require special affection in rebuilding their lives. Life skill training program supports the rescued girls in managing their issues, to enhance their interpersonal relationships, to change their attitudes and behavior, and to develop a positive outlook of life. Occasional skill trainings. The rescued girls are given vocational skill trainings for 10 months on 4 trades such as computer applications, tailoring, beautician, and catering. All the trained persons are helped to get employment in various firms or assisted to start self-employment. At the end of the course, a graduation ceremony is also arranged and the girls are given certificates.
Family reunification. As a part of rehabilitation, the rescued girls are enabled to rejoin their families. The rehabilitation workers visit the families and prepare them to accept the children through counselling. DMI sisters were able to reunify 87% of children with their parents, rest of them with guardians. After reunification, DMI sisters make periodical follow-up visits to ensure the rights of the rescued girls are protected and they live in a safe and secured environment.
Community Outreach Program. In order to prevent trafficking, DMI has developed a community mechanism involving various stakeholders in the villages, including village leaders, volunteer supporters, and government officials. The 10 cell leaders have been trained in identifying potential traffickers and prevent their actions. One of the popular outreach programs is the Children's Theatre. The Spring of Hope Children's Cultural Team move around the villages and sensitizing the community on trafficking and violations of child rights.
Child Labor Eradication Program. After witnessing the issues of rampant child labor, DMI sisters have initiated Child Labor Eradication Program. DMI perceives any child who is out of school is a potential child labor. It was noticed 46% of children are out of school in the 53 selected intervention villages. The DMI team worked intensively with local community in forming village education committee, enrollment campaign, short-term motivational camp, and bridge courses. It was ensured all eligible children go to primary schools in the intervention area.
Care of HIV/AIDS infected. Persistent poverty and starvation push thousands of HIV/AIDS infected victims, particularly children, into vulnerable position and increase the mortality rate of the infected children. After having witnessed the deplorable status of HIV/AIDS infected children, DMI had initiated Community Care Support Program by providing curative healthcare services and nutritious supplementary food for the needy children. Community Care Support Program helped 85% of the children to improve their health condition. More than 200 HIV/AIDS infected and affected children are being helped. Educational support. More than 2 million children are at the verge of dropping out from schools. It was observed that poor economic conditions in the family and low learning capacity of the children force them to drop out from schooling. Thus, DMI venture into preventing school dropouts by giving special coaching in the evening school for slow learners and provide educational material such as school dress, bags, notebooks, and books to reduce the burden of the parents. More than 3,000 children are supported and prevented from dropping out from schools.
DMI also strive while serving the vulnerable children to uphold and protect the rights of the children. Right to survival, right to development, right to protection, and right to participation. Children are born to fly, and they are the future of any nation. Children's welfare is as important as any other priority of a country. DMI Spring of Hope has enkindled new energy, hope, enthusiasm in the lives of the marginalized children and created space where the dreams of the children are fulfilled. It's our endeavor. Let us join hands to reach out as many children as possible who are deprived of their basic needs and fundamental rights, and ensure every African child enjoys their childhood with dignity.